A very tricky transition is coming into the tropics, everybody. It has even upgraded a couple of times since yesterday. So we're expecting Boris over here next to Mexico. This is showing multiple times it's going to be a potential hurricane for Mexico. And the second one is showing it could be a tropical storm going into Mexico and then come out right over here by the Western Caribbean, get together with this tropical wave coming across, and something is trying to form in the Gulf. So I'm going to show you the latest information in this video. What are you going to expect from our latest tropical update, plus what's going on with the severe weather. The severe weather I'm still showing is a lot of wind and hail. The tornado threat is still low. Now, the chances for just a tropical depression has gone up greatly. Now, I'm still showing that these motions of going northward, northwestward will eventually start going towards that northeastward before it goes back towards a northwestward motion. Again, this is going to be a lot of tricky transition that's going on around the gyre. But showing once we get to the end of this transition, as this tropical wave makes its way across, it takes a week to 10 days once it comes off the coast of Africa. Showing it will build up over here by Central America, by Nicaragua, Honduras, as we go by the 10th and the 11th, and then it slowly goes into the Gulf. Now you can see this has heightened since yesterday. It's been growing more and more every single day. Now it's showing chances for that 40 up towards that 50% chance of a tropical depression. And look how that grows as we go into that Monday towards the middle of the month. Showing that opportunity is getting better, everybody. Also, we'll go right up the East Coast right after that. So it's still days away. That's why I keep updating it every single day. That way we can see the transitions, see the timing, and see what the changes are. And hopefully watch this go out through the west. But unfortunately, it's not looking like that scenario is going to play a factor. The latest updates, you can see right here from the first one, that it has 10% chance in the next 48 hours, 70% chance in the next 7 days, showing that a tropical depression is likely to form during the next several days while it generally moves northward or northeastward near the Mexican coast. So we're going to see these come back towards the northeast. If you remember, over a week ago, I showed you these are going to start coming back towards the east. And it was so weird because these are supposed to travel towards the west, not come back from the Pacific. Also, the second one, it has going up to 50% chance in the next 7 days. Also, as it goes through early next week, this is going to move slowly northward. We could even see a north, maybe even a northeastward for a moment on this one as well. This is going to grow. This is going to grow into a bigger area right here for this outlook. Now, so far, National Hurricane Center don't have anything for the Atlantic side. Once again, you can see from the Pacific side, this is going right here. And I do believe this is going to stretch even further, showing that this tropical wave has a good chance to form better than the one we have now. Now, just to be well-rounded, you can see the latest update with Global Tropics as of yesterday, showing nothing coming after we move by the middle of the month, but the new update shows a less chance, shows a 20% chance of tropical development right off the coast of Mexico. Now, this is already wrong compared to National Hurricane Center because we have multiple systems coming through. In fact, I have seen this wrong many times. Well, last year when we have something in the Bay of Campeche, it never showed anything. So it is showing a downgrade when this has actually upgraded. I just want you to see this so you know all the information. Now, this is taking some time for this to come along, so we're literally going 6 days into this forecast for the beginning of it, everybody. So remember, this will move around a little bit. I will keep you updated. Showing with the ensembles, with the European, that we will get the formation into the Eastern Pacific. And as we go further, you see chances for something to form right here by the Western Caribbean while we get that next system into the Eastern Pacific. These right here by the Northern Gulf, I'm not believing these because we still have shear until this moves to the west. But you can see how that grows right on around towards the northeastern Gulf. This would be more believable rather than the northern. I do believe we will see changes in those. So we are seeing the possibility still as we go through next week for something to form. Now, the latest deterministic by the Euro, you can see literally as we go 72 hours, showing something forming right there into the Eastern Pacific. Even if you go all the way towards 4 days, you can see both of them showing weakness rather on both. Now, when you go by GFS, just in the next 72 hours, it's showing a tropical storm and a potential hurricane already forming up. So we're seeing two different intensities already by the two main models. So there's already a difference just going 4 days. Now, the latest update shows that something could form up into the Eastern Pacific on both of them. Euro takes them both week. And then as something comes through the Western Caribbean, still showing as we go 7 to 8 days, this is where something could form up around the Western Caribbean. Latest update shows a little bit more weakness, which is what you would expect when you have a lot of dry air into the area. But it's not a whole bunch of dry air. It all depends how it gets into the system. If it gets to the core, it will keep it weak. But I know that the shear is actually kind of on a low side as this happens. So far, showing is having a tough time getting together by the latest by the Euro. And once again, right here is right at 10 days. So whatever this is showing afterwards is just showing a big issue once it gets into the Gulf. Now, the GFS takes them stronger, which is more believable, everybody. Be honest with you, I expect one of these to be possible hurricane because we have a lot of convection, a lot of lift into the Eastern Pacific, showing that will come towards Mexico and really bring a lot of problems of wind and rain, and showing that next wave will take advantage as we go 7 to 8 days and something's trying to form up once again. Now, this right here we will take. This is not a group of disorganized thunderstorms, but it's a very weak system that's bringing rainfall and some very low winds as that comes across. And then showing another piece hanging out later on and something trying to form. We really need to watch this transition, everybody. So as we take a look at the difference between the two, look at this. So this is the European. We're seeing what Boris is potentially trying to do and that next wave trying to form up into the Eastern Pacific. But we also have that tropical wave coming through the Caribbean. Now, when you look with the difference, the very same shot with the GFS, it takes it a little bit further towards the west, and all of these are stronger, showing that with the Euro, this goes further towards the west, and you can see how it sneaks in there, and it gets together with the energy from the Eastern Pacific. All that becomes one, then it gets discombobulated into the Gulf, where we don't know. It's just too far down the road to know as accuracy. Now, when you look with GFS, it shows that it's its own tropical wave, then it finally does pull that across, and you kind of get that 1-2 punch. You get the first one coming across for southern Florida, and then that second one coming through, hitting a lot of dry air and shear on the second one. So we're seeing the same weather pattern. The only difference is GFS is showing a little more intensity on these storms. It's kind of like showing rapid refresh versus HRRR on severe weather. Now, for today, you see chances for tornadoes. We do have 2 areas, but it's a very low chance. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for a potential tornado for today. This will be a wind and a hail threat for today all the way until Saturday. So for today, for your hail threat, you still have the significant severe in this black hatched area where you could see them 2 inches in diameter possible. So here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for today. Also the wind threat for today. Here's your cities and states at risk for today. Now you can see the latest update with HRRR as we go through the evening from 3 p.m. on. We start getting storms for eastern Nebraska going through Iowa. Then it starts coming through for southern Minnesota as well, going through South Dakota on the eastern side. Now you see these storms are bringing chances for winds, also chances for hail as well. But if you look at the difference between HRRR, which is highly more accurate than rapid refresh, you see how much rapid refresh the very same time period takes them a lot more produced. HRRR is showing that we do have these storms building up. You do have chances for tornadoes for a brief period as we go through the evening. Over here for South Dakota, also what builds up for eastern Nebraska going through western Iowa. Not showing a big chance with that at all. This is showing chances for wind from what I can see, everybody. And when you look with the latest update from National Weather Service, you see chances for thunderstorms in that area, but your tornado threat is actually a low threat over here for Nebraska. So here's your cities and states at risk for a potential tornado for Friday. Once again, this is a very low threat. This is still a wind threat and a hail threat. It always showed that. So for the hail for Friday, you have chances for significant severe. Again, this is every single day, 2 inches in diameter. So here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for Friday. Also the wind threat. You could even see significant severe in this black hatched area where it grows from a 60 to a 70 plus miles per hour wind gust. So here's your cities and states at risk for the high winds for Friday. Now, Saturday, that's going to move into Canada and bring storms across Ohio Valley to Great Lakes out through the northeast while we're getting that trough from that next system moving through for the upper Midwest. Still, you have chances for severe weather. There's chances for large hail and damage and winds. So here's your cities and states at risk for severe weather for Saturday. And you can see here from National Weather Service, scattered severe storms capable of large hail and damaging winds are possible from portions of the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley into the northeast and over the northern high plains. And when I check with HRRR for chances for high damaging winds, so far showing all the way towards 1 o'clock Saturday morning, not showing anything getting past 40 to 50 miles per hour wind gusts. Showing maybe you'll hit some 50s over here for Kansas. But it's showing a lot weaker scenario than what's being pushed. So make sure to subscribe, follow along for updates. I don't do hype. To me, hype equals lies because you're just not telling the truth. All I can do is give you the information that I see and let you deal with the outcome. That's all I can do. I don't give you the best case scenario. I don't give you the worst case scenario. I just give it straightforward to you. So if you're like a straight, honest person that's accurate and reliable without the hype, make sure to subscribe. Now, we'll keep you updated of what's going on in the tropics as well. So far, it's still past 7 days, so it's still not a big confidence that we're going to have something in the Gulf that's going to be a tropical storm or a hurricane. It's just showing a better chance as of the update for today. This is going to move around a little bit. The tricky part is these are not going westward. These are going to go north, northeastward, and just do a weird scenario. That's why it's going to be a very tricky transition. But I will keep you updated. Thank you all for your time. Hope you have a very blessed day out there today. And I will see you again for tomorrow, God willing. Unless a big update comes out this afternoon with National Hurricane Center, then I will do another one for today. And that is the latest updates, everybody. So before I go, a quick word from our Father, Psalm 44. Blessed is that man that maketh the Lord his trust, and respecteth not the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. We're getting closer and closer to what's happening around the Central American Gyre. This is what we really need to watch for. I will keep you updated. Remember, above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody.